Hey there, guys. We've got the Dark Rain Silver Crown battles on the JP server, and we're going to be going in here and doing stage 4 with all missions. Now, this is a little bit tricky to do. We're fighting the Omega weapon. It's a demon machine, and it's a demon dragon, not a machine. It's a demon dragon. It's pretty tricky, but I'll show you the way we do it. And you got to beat this to unlock Dark Rain's 150 Dark Amp. So you really don't want to miss this. Anyway, here's the party we're going to be using. So we're going to be using Dio as our leader. He's going to be buffing the whole party because, like I mentioned, his leader skill is for anniversary units or dark units, and this is you can only use anniversary units in this clear. So let's get a go, and I'll show you what we're doing, and I'll explain it and show you the gear, and then I'll talk a little bit more about leader skills at the end. So turn 1, the boss is going to do a bunch of physical damage, so we're going to evade cover it with our Guardian Charlotte, or whatever her name is. We're going to use LB with Return Fina. That's going to give us a light amplify, an LB buff, a stat buff, etc. We're going to use Dark Rain to normal LB. That's going to Dark Imperil the boss. And then we're going to LB with Dio, and we're going to triple Absolute Mirror of Equity light skill with Cog, and that also imperils light element. So do this, wait, and cap it. And as far as breaking, we auto-broke with the Obsidian Bracer. That's our only break this clear. Unfortunate, but I couldn't really fit a breaker. So here's the physical damage, and AoE Gravity, you can ignore that. So this turn, the boss mirages himself. So in order to get rid of that mirage, we're going to dual wield Thousand Needles with Dark Rain this turn. That's going to also mirage our party because we're switching Charlotte to magical cover. And the boss is going to do an AoE physical this turn, which we need to mirage. Also, because we're going to push a threshold, we need light resist. So we're going to imbue the party with light, which also does a light resist buff. Don't use the killer buff yet. And then we'll just like protect and shell, but it really doesn't matter. Then we're going to reload and go again with these two. Now, Dio has an auto-filling LB. Every turn, his LB automatically refills, and it's a triple Absolute Mirror of Equity chain. So you can just LB with Dio literally every turn while he's shifted. It is a trance shift, though, so it does wear off. Okay, so here's the AoE magic. It's fire and light damage, a light imperil, and then AoE attack, and then a dispel. He dispels your party on turn 2. We lost all our buffs. So we're going to reapply magic cover with Charlotte. We're going to use Fina to re-imbue the party. Now we're going to do her human killer buff. Let's reload these guys. We're going to get Dark Rain to do his new cooldown skill. Make sure you enhance it from the crowns. His Magnus, and then his boost. And then we're going to go ahead and chain this up a little bit again. Okay, so this turn, just more magic damage, and that's it. We're covering it with our immune Charlotte. Now this turn, the boss buffs up and gets ready to basically nuke you from orbit. You got to kill him on this turn. So we're going to go ahead and use our SLB of Fina to amplify the party. Reload, sorry about that. Reload these guys and use the powered up SLB of Dark Rain. So Dark Rain, wait a moment, and then chain our guys, and that should be the end of Omega. And there it is, 4 turns, all missions. Definitely not the cheapest clear ever, but it gets it done. So I will show you the gear and all in a second. And yeah, you know, pretty tricky to do. As far as budget options, when it comes to global, I'll work out some budget options. But for the JP server, hopefully you guys pulled. So here's the damage breakdown. Dark Rain, pretty good. EX1 Dio, you know, it's his event. And then Dark or Cog is basically just for support chaining, but he also imperils light while support chaining. And that's kind of important because we're using this party. Now, you could probably mix it up and, you know, change things around, but that's how I did it. It worked. Anyway, let me show you, well, I guess we're not going back there. Let me show you the team we used. I'll talk more about leader skills in a second. This team, Charlotte is using passive provoke and evasion, full passive provoke, 100 or better fire resist, and I'm not sure how much you need, but a lot of light resist because the boss imperils your light resist. So 280 was enough, and she does physical and magical cover. Light Fina is using the Obsidian Bracer. This is our only source of breaks. Now, if you've got a better breaker, this will be a lot easier. I don't have a good breaker for anniversary units. My anniversary units are limited. Anyway, she was dual wielding to break the Mirage. I changed that strategy. So literally all she needs is the Obsidian Bracer. And then she does, like I said, the 100 light resist buff, as well as the Demon Killer buff, 125 Demon Killer to help out. Dark Rain, I used some of his crowns. He's got 13,700 magic. We now got the last crown. And let me claim that last crown before I forget and accidentally enhance him with a gold crown, which yet again today, I saw people in Discord that accidentally used the last enhancement before claiming Rain's crown. And you definitely don't want to use a gold crown because, you know, why pay for something when it's free? So yeah, go ahead, and when I did Rain, I did his flat magic first with the first 3 crowns. Now the last crown, let's use a silver and get his last cooldown. It might have been better to use the crowns on his cooldown first and only use level 1 of the magic buff, but whatever. Now he's fully crowned. Anyway, so this was a dual wield build, dual wield spears, LB damage, and he's using magic boots, and he's using 1,000 needles. We need Mirage on turn 2. Gotta do Mirage. So the reason he's dual wielding is we really wanted him to hit twice to get rid of both of the boss's Mirage stacks. So there we go, his own card, and he's got maxed LB, maxed Demon, and maxed Dragon. And then we didn't use the base form. We used the shift form of Dio, Dionysus, Diocesius. I don't know what his name is. It's Dio. Yes, it's me, Dio. Anyway, so we're using a double-handed greatsword. Obviously, his own STMR is way better, but his own STMR is way better because he gets flat stats and all that. My pulls were garbage. I don't have the STMR. EX1 only, good enough, whatever. So here's the build. He autofills his LB every single turn in shift form, so he literally just did his LB every single turn. Every single turn. It's a stacking LB. It does, at max stack, it's 530x modifier at max stacks, and he does in the first 5 turns, and he does have the passive that gives him the auto buff on the first 5 turns. And he was maxed on everything. Maxed LB, maxed Demon, maxed Dragon. Then Knights of Grand I didn't put a card back on them. God freaking, I stole his card, never put a new one back on it. Well, I swapped the card over here, and then I didn't replace his. It didn't matter. That's why his damage was so low. Oh my freaking god. I'm putting a card on him. You irritate me, dude. Okay, so we're gonna pretend like I didn't make that mistake. So he was just a chainer, and the reason we wanted him is because we had to imbue the party with light with Fina in order to get an amplify, because the amplify for this guy is in his base form. This is his amplify, and he's got at EX2 he gets a 150 amplify. I'm not EX2, so what are you gonna do? So I didn't have as good amplify. So he had no amplify at all in the shift form. So we dual imbued him with light, and that's why we needed to imperil light with this guy. So he's support chain, triple absolute mirror of equity, and light imperiled. Now as far as leader skills go, I've got some questions. If you want to know who qualifies for your leader skill, go to your leader unit, click on the tag thing. These are the tags. So Dark this guy does leader skills for Dark and Anniversary. So the Anniversary tag are right here. So there's more units, but these are the ones that I personally own. It only shows units in your inventory. So these are all my Anniversary units that qualify for the leader skill, and this is also the units that are allowed to come to that Chronicle. So I could only pick units from this list to come to the Chronicle battle. It's pretty limited. That's why I had to struggle a little bit. But these are Anniversary units that qualify for the leader skill, and then these are Dark units that qualify for the leader skill. And again, this is not all the units. These are just the ones that I personally own. I don't own every unit in the game, so I'm probably missing some Dark units that would be in this list. But these are the ones that qualify as a quote-unquote Dark unit, and they get the leader skill from Dionysus. And then there's also things like the attacker tag, which is enormous, like half the units are attacker tag. There's things like, I'm not sure what this one is. Oh, it's just him. And then the FFBE tag, which is obviously tremendous. Yeah. And then FFBE, Anniversary, tank tag, etc. Yeah, so that's the new tag system, and they use that to determine, healer tag, and they use that to determine who can get your leader skills. Also, it was mentioned, Sephiroth and Dark Reign also have a leader skill. Dark Reign's is only 100 attack and magic, but it's for Anniversary and Dark, and then Sephiroth is not in this party. Sephiroth's leader skill, it seems to be only premiums. Sephiroth's leader skill is just for dark units, but again, it is for 100%. Obviously, a lot weaker than Dio's, who is 500%. Anyway, there's the clear. Hope it helps. See you in a bit.